What's up, YouTube? I'm here at Exoticon here in September. Let's see, not September, November. Let's see some awesome animals.
In there, his head's with
My first snake that I have to show you guys is this beauty right. Get his head out here. There you go. First snake I have to show you guys this is a scaleless, super scaleless head, pastel Enchi butter fire. This is such a cool snake. You guys know Spider too. If you add the super pastel, that would be a scaleless White Walker, which I think would be even cooler. You guys know Mark Mandic in Canada produced the White Walkers because all those genes were done, but proved them wrong. But the scaleless, one of the things I always talk about when it comes to scaleless snakes, they do so well. They get so much criticism, they get hate too much. Way too much hate. They're saying, oh, it's horrible. I just want to put it out of its misery. But as you can see, this little monkey here is pretty fine. You guys know, I still remember, I feel like it was just yesterday when I watched Brian Barczyk unbox, sorry, what's the word? Show off the first scaleless ball python. I feel like it was just yesterday when he produced the first ones, when I saw that video. Rest in peace, Brian, we missed you. But truth be told, this is such a cool snake. Nonetheless, I love scaleless snakes. Meet Monkey. Have a look how cute Monkey is. I've shown this. I have shown. You guys know I've shown this guy. I showed her recently in the last video I did here at the expo. This is Monkey. She's a rock iguana. You guys are from the Cuban islands. You guys are gonna be found in Hispaniola. Those areas. That's the rhino iguana. That's from Hispaniola. But this is a Cuban rock iguana. This is overall a really much more docile animal compared to the green iguana. You guys know green iguanas can be quite cantankerous. So these are a much better option. This is the bridge into a green iguana. If you guys have a space for a green iguana, then yeah. But have a look how docile you guys. I can just pat him right here. She's like, ah yeah, let me get pets right there. Let me just do like the scratches. Such a cool animal. I just gotta be careful of those claws though. Cool animal. Let's see what else we can see here. Bye, Monkey. Meet Beefcake here. This is a Argentine red tegu. These guys, have a look at these cheeks right here. He reminds me so much of the bulldog. Brian Barczyk used to say these are the bulldogs of the reptile world. He just loves being pets. He's like, oh yeah, let me get pets right there. Let me get scratches. These guys are from Argentina. And unfortunately, they become, well, not these, but the Argentine black and whites are invasive in Florida. Therefore, Florida has banned them, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to put a link for US ARC Florida in the description. So let's follow them, because we're trying to overturn this ban. I think just look at how docile he is. These can make good pets. These are much more docile compared to Colombians. But overall, you do need a little bit of more space. Not as much space as a green iguana. But if you want, these guys can actually learn their names, which is so cool. If you guys watch the video, MacGyver the Lizard, these guys are so intelligent. He just loves the attention right now. Hey, buddy. This could be a world's first. This is a campfire desert ghost, which is a calico cinnamon desert ghost. Let's see, cinnamon desert ghost. What's the last one? Calico cinnamon Enchi. There you go. Calico is much like a spider, where it has the white sides. You guys know how much it's very similar to pied baldism, but it's not as black and white as the pied, but it's still very cool. You guys know how much I love Enchi. Let's say I really love Enchi, as Brian used to say. Enchi's co-dominant. You get a super Enchi with a few more patterns. Hey, look at that! He's coming to look at the camera. He's like, yeah, this is my time to shine. But I tell you, this is a really pretty. I love all the reds on this animal. This could be a world's first. How cool is that? Meet the yellow pinstripe harlequin crested gecko. Well, these guys are known as eyelash geckos, believe it or not. Believe it or not, until 1994, which is the year I was born, by the way, these were declared extinct in the wild. And then when two German herpetologists went to New Caledonia they actually discovered a small population, and then the New Caledonia government allowed them to export them out of the country. Now, they've become so relatively popular, you can find them in almost every pet store across the world. South Africa, except Australia, because they don't allow anything exotic in Australia, which sucks. But anyway, look at these. I just love the pattern on this guy. I look at these spikes here. It's like, hey, let me look at that. Let me look at the camera. I love that tongue. You guys are really easy to care for. You don't need UVB. They're nocturnal. Now, they are fructivores and insectivores, so you got to feed them nectar. You can feed them also insects. I just love those. I just love that face. He's just so cute. Hey, buddy. Meet the Woma python, Aspadites ramsayi. These guys are native to Australia, and it just sucks that Australia doesn't export their animals because Peter Birch, I think Peter Birch from Colorful Critters in Australia, has mutations, and of course the K brothers too. But every time I see a Woma, I just get so mesmerized. You guys are very similar to what's called the black cat python. Believe it or not, these guys do eat other snakes. They would eat rodents, but in captivity they just do well on rodents. They eat other lizards too. These are what they call shield pythons. As you can see, their nose kind of looks like a shield. But one thing I love about womas is their patterns. Looks like a tiger almost. Just look at that pattern, just how beautiful this guy is. I love woma pythons. These guys are available in South Africa now, so if you guys are in South Africa, you can have one. But every time I see those localities and all the stuff they have, I'm jealous, but this is such a cool snake nonetheless.
It's been a long day.
Alright, so here we've got a leucistic axolotl. Believe it or not, these guys can lose their limbs and it will grow back almost immediately, which I think is pretty cool. So therefore they're using these in a bunch of research. These guys are critically endangered. I don't know how many are left in the wild, but thanks to the pet trade, just like the crested gecko, I think this animal is going to make a comeback too in Mexico. Unfortunately, these guys are illegal in some areas, like California. I don't know, which is really unfortunate. But I tell you, this leucistic is beautiful nonetheless. So these guys do need frequent water changes. You guys have to have a pump. Much like, and these are called water dogs as well. I tell you, this is such a cool animal. Just look at him. He's like, let me just chill here. Meet the California red-sided garter snake. Look how tiny this guy is. These guys eat fish, rodents. This is probably the closest thing, for a while at least, I think, that we're going to get to owning a San Francisco garter snake. As Dave Kaufman used to say, we're protecting that snake right into extinction. Just look at how beautiful it is. The blue and the patterns. Now, believe it or not, if you guys are looking for a snake, but you don't want to feed rodents, this is the perfect snake for you. These guys can feed fish and rodents. You just don't feed goldfish. Don't feed goldfish. Don't feed any seafood, but like sardines are fine. Guppies, that kind of stuff. But you gotta dust it. So also feed chicken guts as well, but these are so cool. I just love garter snake. This happens to be a green anaconda. This is the heaviest bodied snake on the world. These guys get, a lot of people say they get 44 inches, and that is not true. These guys get so demonized. They say they're man-eaters. Have a look at this guy. I'm like right here. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to pull him out. But these guys are can be very tame. You guys know Megan Kelly has this knack for taming green anacondas. I'm right here, and it's like usually these guys would be striking, but just look at how beautiful he is. Look how green this ball python is. I'm just kidding, this is a green tree python. Really a virildi, can't pronounce it, but these guys are from Australia and Papua New Guinea. A lot of times people get them, they get this sometimes can get a bad rap of being mean and nasty snakes. Some of them are, don't get me wrong. So that's why a lot of times people say they make really good display animals, but when it comes to handling, a lot of times they're not the best handling snake, but this one is super docile. Look at him, I just pet him right here. He's like, yeah, go ahead, pet me right there. He's like I'm balled up like a ball python. Cool snake. You get blue. They're born red, so you can get sometimes you can get them blue, which is so cool. Like got a little bit of blue on this one too. But this is such a beautiful snake. I love green tree pythons. Again, really for advanced keepers, they're not really good for beginners. And a lot of times, if you can find one that's this docile, they can be absolutely amazing animals. Beautiful snake. This happens to be a pearl granite Burmese python. You guys know Eric, I forgot his last name, produced the granites. And now, of course, you guys know Bob Clark, the legend, probably the godfather of the reptile hobby, besides Tom Crutchfield, actually produced the first albinos. Now, him and Tom actually purchased the first albino Burms, and then he loaned them to Bob Clark, and sure enough, Bob Clark was able to reproduce the albino. Now the albino Burm, look how beautiful, buddy. Every time I see albino, for some reason, I always think of Sunshine, Brian Snake, who unfortunately passed away. Anyways, the albino Burmese python is really what started the snake hobby. I think this was the first mutation ever produced, that was the albino Burm, and it really kick-started the hobby. Now this is called a pearl granite. A pearl is a hypo-albino. The hypo gene with Burmese pythons, interestingly enough, is co-dominant, which produces the ivory. But just look at how beautiful those eyes are. Hey, buddy. Meet the super pastel Enchi spider clown. How cool is that snake? Look at that stripe down its back. It kind of, tell you, look at the colors too. It's just so super pastel. I tell you, is a real enhancing gene. Clown is recessive, spider is dominant, doesn't have the wobble, thankfully, I'm not told. But truth be told, this is such a cool snake nonetheless. I love Super Pastel. Look at how beautiful he is. Taking a break from the reptiles, have a look at this. This is a tan chinchilla. You can just tell by his fur, he's just so fluffy and he's just so cute. But the truth is, guys, one of the things I always want to talk about when owning a chinchilla, it's a big responsibility. These guys are really, if somebody has asthma like me or has bad allergies, a chinchilla may not be for you. Because these guys do need frequent dust baths, and if you have allergies or you have asthma, and a dust bath is really not ideal for you. But these guys are really endangered. These guys are protected. These guys are unfortunately hunted for their fur because it's so fluffy. And it's really really soft and cute, but so we got to do our best. If you guys want a chinchilla, do a lot of research before you buy them. Make sure you don't have asthma. Make sure even if you do, but just make sure you know how to take care of it. But and make sure you're ready for the commitment of giving it a dust bath a couple times a day. But these guys are really cool nonetheless. I think my heart is melting right now. Have a look. He's like, yeah. Oh, let me got my camera shot. Yeah, so cute. Look away, guys from South Africa. This is a Guiana red tail. He's like, let me go to the camera. Okay, he's like, okay, I've had enough now. But these are cool snakes. I love boa constrictors, I tell you. Look at how beautiful this snake is. Let's have a look at the head here. Beautiful, sketchy. Have a look at the head here. I love that pattern, the bow tie pattern. It reminds me so much of the one I had when I was a kid. I tell you, I miss having a boa. How beautiful you are. Look how beautiful. Have a look at that tail, though. Cool snake. This happens to be a super vanilla GHI, which means gotta have it, because I'm sold out at Reptile Sale, but you guys are going to put a link for their video for the websites. You gotta check them out. Cool stuff. Great guy. So this is a super vanilla, which is the homozygous of vanilla. It's a little bit more pattern. Now the GHI, which means gotta have it, which is the black patterns on this animal. I tell you, this is such a cool snake. You guys know GHI is one of my favorite morphs. Well, I said it with everything. Everything's one of my favorite morphs because it's hard to choose. But GHI is, when you mix GHI with other stuff, I tell you, it's kind of very nice contrasting colors with black and white. I tell you, this is such a cool snake. He's like, hey, you can tell this guy's about to take a pop at my camera. But thankfully, ball pythons are usually pretty docile, but just sometimes they can be a bit nippy. But other than that, he's such a cool snake. This animal is so cool. Have a look at this. This happens to be a hypo desert ghost clown. It's a triple recessive trait, which is really hard to come by, especially in ball pythons, because it's so difficult to line those traits up. So you've got to breed it to hypo desert ghosts to each other, produce double hets, breed those double hets to each other. It's 1 out of every 16 eggs to produce a hypo desert ghost. Breed that to the clown, raise the double hets up. And I think it's 1 out of every 64 eggs to produce a triple recessive. This is such a cool snake. Look at how beautiful it is. You guys know how much I usually am not a fan of triple recessives, but I still think this is a cool snake. Beautiful snake. Yeah, gotta show these guys some love. Have a look how adorable this guy is. My heart is melting right now. This happens to be a sugar glider. Now, the common misconception with sugar gliders is that they fly, and that's not true. They glide. They would extend their arms and they would have like a flap. It's like skydiving almost, but they would just glide through the air. These guys are really, again, when it comes to mammals, you got to make sure you do a lot of research before you buy them, because this is a big commitment. These guys, I don't think they need a dust bath like a chinchilla, but the truth is, they do eat. You can feed them insects, you can feed them fruit, omnivores, and fish too. These guys are so cute. I just love them. But again, they're not for everybody. You guys have got to do some research. You got to make sure you have a big enclosure, because these guys do like to glide. Hey, look at him squealing. He's like, you really had to wake me up from my nap, really? You got to wake me up? Sorry, buddy. You can go back to your nap now. This is such a cool animal. I just love them. Have a look at my new little buddy. He's like, I'm in training right now. Yeah. He's like, hey, what's going on right now? Sit, Crow, sit. Have a look at Crow. He's like, yeah. It's like, let me sit right here. What am I doing here? I want to lie down right now. Go away, please. He's such a cute dog. You guys know how much I love dogs, but German Shepherds are not for everybody, to be honest. They get big, and they can be quite dangerous.
He's only 7 months old.
And he's only 7 months old. And look how big he is for a 7-month-old puppy. They're cute animals nonetheless, but you guys gotta have a lot of space, and you need to know what you're doing when you buy these dogs. Look at him. He's like, okay, where's my reward now? Of course you can get a reward now, buddy. Meet the super Mojave ball python. You guys know the story about the ivory gene. For all you Patriots fans. But anyways, you guys know Chad Brown, who's a former Patriots player, sold a snake similar to this, which is the ivory, to Peter Cole. He bought it from Peter Cole for about $125K. You guys know how much I love white snake. These guys used to sell for that much back in the day, believe it or not. But I just love the white on this animal. So he's like, no crap on my Crosby jersey. He's like, I hate Crosby. Anyway, he's just going to chill out of my hand right now. I just love seeing these snakes. Cool snakes nonetheless. Have a look at Magnum Exotics Reptile Rescue. You guys are in Virginia, right?
Yep. Ashburn.
In Ashburn. So I think I saw them at Repticon a few weeks ago, so I got to put a link for that video downstairs. Anyways, these guys are in Virginia. These guys do reptile rescues. They do take in donations, so it'd be nice of you guys to donate. I'm going to donate soon. Now, these guys you can also offer adoption, so if you guys need an animal, you guys can reach out to them if you want to adopt something like this guy here. Beautiful animal. Such a cool tortoise. I love tortoises. His name's Teddy. He's a Russian tortoise. Smaller tortoise species, so if you guys want a tortoise, this is the perfect one. Your ball pythons, Teddy. Have a look at the lipstick albino boa here. These guys, lipstick is a polygenic trait. You guys know one of my favorite snakes is a boa constrictor. Unfortunately, like I said, people have been so irresponsible with them. I love boas nonetheless. They get pretty big. This is the lipstick, which is polygenic, years and years of breeding. Now this is the Call albino. Peter Call produced the first albinos boas. I don't know, gosh, I think it was in the 1990s. Now they're relatively available. Such a beautiful snake. Have a look at the pink on the snake. Meet Testivus. He's a Burmese. Pestimus, whatever. He's a beautiful Burm. Look at how chunky he is. Look how thick he is. You guys know this is what they called, back in the day, these were called the poor man's African rock python in South Africa because these remind me so much of a rock python in the northern Manassas rock. But unfortunately, in South Africa, you need a permit for them. So the Burmese python, well, now in South Africa, regardless of any big snake, whether it's a Burmese, a retic, a boa constrictor, he's starting to get a little bit agitated. So, but I tell you, he's a beautiful snake. I miss having it. I tell you, I hope I get a Burm one day. Hey, buddy, beautiful snake. Meet Nefarious. He's happened to be a panther chameleon. These guys are native to Madagascar. The common belief about chameleons that is not true, not entirely true, is that they change color to blend in with their surroundings. That's not true at all. They change color as a way to absorb heat, and occasionally they would actually act like a leaf to blend it from their predators. Now these guys eat rodents. They eat rodents. They eat rodents. That's right. They don't eat rodents. They eat bugs, like crickets. It's something you want to feed.
Small rodents.
And occasionally small rodents too. But I tell you, this is such a cool animal. Now, chameleons aren't the best handling animal from time to time, so they stress out easily. So that's why I always say they do it better. They're better off as a display animal. But truth be told, they're cool animals nonetheless. All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, push that notification bells. Have an amazing day. God bless.